Hi, it's JP. Got my hands on an ID Buzz so we can test out that supercharger and see if we can pull the full 500 amps. Now, I have a little problem. This thing is at 80% charge, 79 now. So I guess we're gonna have to drive it a little bit to get it down to a level where it'll charge quickly so we can try it out. So off on a little road trip. I'm not gonna shoot much of that because I don't have any mounts, so sorry, that's for another day, maybe, but this is just to try out the superchargers really, so more on this thing later. Sorry about the glare, but as you can see here, 79%, and it thinks we've got 272 kilometers, which, you know, that's what this thing will deliver, I guess. Temperature is -2 at the moment. It's not supposed to get any warmer. And we're going to gain some elevation and then lose some elevation, but the wind doesn't look too significant. I think it's like 1 meter a second. As you can see here, I'm basically going to drive north from Toronto up to our target zone of Mount St. Louis Moonstone. Now, I'm probably not going to go all the way there, but it is a ski hill we frequent. And I thought that would be a good test of how this thing does on the drive up there. You don't think of it as having a little bit of elevation gain, but I can tell you my efficiency is almost always better coming back than it is going up there. And hey, it is actually where there's a ski hill, so it's probably higher than here in Toronto. Now the built-in route planner thinks that we will get there at 41%. Again, I'm probably not going to go all the way there, so I'm not going to really get a good handle on how accurate or inaccurate that is. I will be driving just a little bit higher than the speed limit, but we're talking single digits higher. So no plus VAT. We don't have VAT here. And I need to get myself some phone mounts here, but just having a look at car scanner, and you can see it thinks we've got 68,000 watt hours in the HV battery, and it thinks that we're burning just under 3 kilowatts at the moment standing still. That's with the heat on. Okay, well, I have decided to go all the way to Mount St. Louis Moonstone. We're just a few minutes away right now, and I can tell you the VW trip planner is bang on the money. Now, I did train it yesterday by driving at about 105, and that's roughly what I've been driving coming up here, give or take, passing, slowing down for traffic, you know, that kind of thing. But there wasn't much of that, mostly at the same speed, and I believe it was estimating 41%, and it is still estimating 41%. Might hit 40, but I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Here we are at Mount St. Louis, and this thing still says 42%, but it's been saying that for a little bit, so I bet that's 41%. I can tell you, quick glancing at car scanner, well, let's do that. Quick glancing at car scanner shows that we've been burning somewhere around 2 to 3 kilowatts for HVAC. Now I do have it on eco in the back and in the front right because nobody else is here, and yeah, this thing's done pretty well, I think. You know, if we just look here, we've got 42%. It was estimating that we would be here at 41%. Can't really complain about that. And if we go check what it thinks is the efficiency, it's claiming 25.7 since we started out. And so let's say that's 26, and the Bolt would normally have probably been 21 or 22. So considering the size of this thing, that's not bad. Now it looks like it's saying that I will need to charge in order to get home from 42%. That's probably right. I think it's telling me that I could probably get home with 4% remaining, but yeah, too close for comfort for me. So it wants me to stop in Barrie for 5 minutes at the Electrify Canada station, which makes a lot of sense. I might not do that. I might go straight to the Innisfil en route instead. It's saying that we'll get to en route Innisfil at 25% in 35 minutes. Let's see how well it does with that. And we're now down to 41%. Suppose I should take some pickies of Mount St. Louis. It looks like they're making snow. I would normally go over to the flow charger just to be near my charging station over there, but I saw that they were cleaning the parking lot when I was driving in, so I'm going to stay out of their way. They did ask people not to pester them, and I'm in their parking lot, although don't think I'm pestering them. But they're claiming that this place might open by the end of this week, and by the looks of it, I'd say that is possible. Okay, so since we told it we were going to a charging station, it has automatically decided to preheat the battery. It says it's going to take 50 minutes, and we're going to get there much sooner than that. Current quick charge potential is 68 kilowatts, but it says that it's preheating. But interestingly, when I go over here on Car Scanner, I can see that it doesn't say it's using any PTC heat for that battery preconditioning. So only the same as the climate control was using before. So either we're not looking at the right PIDs, or this is just all heat pump preheating, preconditioning. I guess I need to investigate that a bit further. Okay, so we're here at the IV chargers at en route Innisfil. Car is at 23%. It's managed to get to a current quick charge potential of 97 kilowatts. And we are going to plug in and see what really happens. Oh. Make sure the connector is not full of schmutz. Use VW's very, very, very bad plug cover. Sorry, hard to do multiple things at once. Authenticate. We will authenticate with our IV RFID card. Checking tag. Invalid authentication. What? Worked second time around. Huh. That's weird. I heard clicks. Let's see. We've got 2 cabinets and no other people here. So by my math, that means there should be 400 kilowatts available. 120 on 400 volts. We're at 72. Well, Okay, 80. 90. 97. All right. Well, this is honestly going to be a quick stop, because this is not our end game. Current quick charge potential 91 kilowatts. We're at 41%. And we're pulling 91 or 92 into the battery. That's good. The battery inlet temperature is only 10. But the battery temperature is only 15 or 16, which leads me to believe that it's not warm enough? 6 kilometers a minute, I guess, at the current efficiency. We're not going to full charge this thing, though. Now, my goal was just to stop here and bump it a little, because I really want to get it to the supercharger at 10%. Looks like I might get there a bit higher than that because I left it on the charger too long while I went to the bathroom. Just a few minutes, but that's all it took, even at the slower rate. So we're going to unplug. I've already stopped it and head out. Install the very poorly designed plug. Close that up. Away we go. Now, annoyingly, the Tesla Supercharger at Lawrence Allen Center doesn't seem to be in here, so we're just going to choose this as our destination. We're going to say start.
The destination is on a limited access road. Now drive straight ahead.
And it says we're going to get there at 24%. But now what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to charging, optimization, and we're going to say start battery preconditioning. It says 26 minutes needed. Okay, this is going to take 51 minutes, but my goal is to burn a little bit extra power. Has it changed its? No. Okay, well, that's interesting. All right. Well, let's see what happens. Okay, well, I've made it to Lawrence Allen Center. Good news is that the VW route planner was pretty much bang on from when we left the en route, and that is that it said we would get here at 24%, and we got here at 25%. I drove a tiny bit slower due to traffic than it was probably predicting, so that is excellent. And let me just flip you around here. Okay. 25% and 26 kilowatt hours per 100 coming back. So that's way better than going uphill. So, this is pretty good. Now if no, that's not going to work. I should have reset that when we were there. Either way, that's a pretty decent efficiency for a box like this. So I'm okay with that. Now the bad news is we're here at 25% and not the 10% I wanted to be at. And what that means is that our max charging potential is 112 kilowatts, which is in no way going to tax what this supercharger can deliver. So, what to do? Okay, we are going to try plugging into this supercharger, even though this thing says we're only going to get 102 kilowatts at 22% at the moment. So nothing spectacular, but no point in not completing what we set out to do, even though we're not going to get what we wanted, which is to see if it'll pull full power, because it's not going to. Oh well. Oh, I suppose we should have a look at this as well. Where are we here? 26% on the BMS, 22 displayed. Yep, that's about right. Same 2.234 kilowatts on the HVAC. It says that it's still preconditioning, although this thing says no PTC heater power. So don't know what's going on with that. Anything else that's exciting in there? Battery's only at 8 or 10 degrees, somewhere in there. We'll say the lowest is probably what it's using, 8. So I don't think it's even trying to heat at the moment, even though it says that it is. Oh well, let's go plug it in. Here we are, 25%, 35 minutes to get to 80%. We're pulling 100 kilowatts. Okay, 96. Somewhere around there. And yeah, could be faster, but that's what we're getting. Still, 100 kilowatts is nothing to sneeze at. And let's have a look at car scanner. Anything exciting going on in here that we couldn't otherwise see? Dynamic limit charging, 248 amps. So we're pulling 250 amps, 240, 250 amps, still nothing like what we really need at max power. So we're pulling about half what this thing can do. Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to leave this thing charging because I can charge at home, and we just don't need it. I'm going to have to try this another day because I really want to see what max power is. Well, that's kind of a long video for a bit of a failed test. Well, you get what you get. So long from Lawrence Square. See you next time. Bye. Okay, it's the next day today, and I'd had to do a run up to Bolton and then to Barrie and then back to Toronto. So I was able to do almost exactly the same thing, except this time I've got here at the Supercharger at 11%, and I tricked the car into preheating more by navigating to a Shell 180 kilowatt charger nearby. Now, I'm not sure if that made the difference or not, but it seems to have. So manually preconditioning didn't seem to bring it up to full power, but preconditioning manually while navigating to a 180 kilowatt charger nearby seems to have brought up the current quick charging potential to 188 kilowatts. So we're going to give this another go. Now, catch is, I only brought one phone today, so I'm going to have to take a snapshot of the car scanner screen while I'm not shooting video. We're charging. Current quick charge potential 197 kilowatts. I'm liking the sound of that. And what are we actually getting? 196 kilowatts. And it turns yellow. I love it. That is nice. Let's see. I'll frame that up, take a still. Okay. So, I can tell you from looking at car scanner before I started shooting this, that in fact we were pulling nearly 500 amps out of this thing. And that's pretty darn good. So yes, according to car scanner, you can get 500 amps out of a Tesla Supercharger in an ID Buzz. So, bing! Question answered. Huh. It just went from yellow to green at what? At 21%. So maybe that 20% yellow zone relates to the warnings. Okay, that would make sense. All right, and now it's green since you're above 20%. Yeah, this thing is cooking. Nice. So I'm going to speculate here that this thing needs to navigate to a charger that's capable of delivering its full power in order for it to precondition to its full potential, even if you manually precondition. It seems like they're kind of not trusting that you really need it. I'm obviously going to have to try that out a few more times because a sample of one is not good enough, but that seems to have been the difference today. Okay, we're into this charging session for about 12 minutes. We've come from 11% to 50% in about 12 minutes. So probably we will manage to do 40% charge in 13 minutes, which I consider to be pretty darn good. So what this really tells me is that we need to have the Tesla Superchargers in the built-in VW nav so that we can get full charging power when we're using them. That's it from me for today. Talk to you later.